Chi-Raq is the latest movie directed by Spike Lee. A lot of younger people are criticizing this movie because they don't understand the movie. I think in order to understand this movie, you have to understand Spike Lee's work. You have to look at the history of the type of movies he's made. Chi-Raq is similar to School Daze. I think in order to understand Chi-Raq, you have to watch School Daze. School Daze came out in 1988. I was just a little kid when this movie came out. And when I was a kid, I didn't understand the message of the movie. But when I got older and I watched School Daze, I fully understand the message of this movie. It's about the divide between black people. It's about the self-hatred between black people. And at the end of the movie, when Lawrence Fishburne says, "We need to wake up," he meant we need to wake up as black people. We need to stop the hatred. We need to stop the black on black divide. And that's what the movie School Daze was all about. And that's what Chi-Raq is all about. So for a lot of people criticizing Chi-Raq, watch the movie School Daze. You have to watch the movie School Daze in order to understand Chi-Raq. I advise people to watch the movie Malcolm X. Watch a lot of Spike Lee's movies to understand this movie. A lot of younger people don't know anything about Spike Lee's movies. They don't know about the movies he made in the 80s. They don't know about the movies he made in the 90s. So they don't understand the message of Chi-Raq. The same way I didn't understand the message of School Daze when I was a kid and I saw it. So I think people need to do their research. Chi-Raq is based on a Greek play that goes back 2,000 years ago called Lystrata. Lystrata is about a group of women who go on strike to not have sex with their men in order to stop them from killing each other. And this is what happens in Chi-Raq. The women in the city go on strike in order to stop the men from killing and shooting each other. And I think it's a powerful message. Is it realistic? No, it's not. But it's not meant to be realistic. It's meant to address the core of the problem. And the core of the problem in Chicago is black men killing each other. Hundreds of black men each year kill each other like flies in Chicago. And I don't understand why a lot of black people are so afraid to address this problem, are so ashamed to address this problem. Anytime a black person talks about black on black crime, he's called a coon, he's called a sellout, he's called a self-hater. It makes no sense whatsoever. And they will actually defend the gang-banging thugs who are killing and terrorizing the black community. This is hypocritical. Because you're saying all black lives matter, but you're defending the gang-banging thugs who are killing black people every day. And this is the problem I have with a lot of liberal extremists. Like Eric Dyson and Melissa Harris Perry. All they do is make excuses for fuckery. All they do is make excuses for ignorance. And as soon as some black person talks about this ignorance and talks about common sense ways in order to better the black community, these idiots will call you a coon for calling out the buffoonery, for calling out the dysfunction in the black community. Spike Lee is being called a coon. He's being called a sellout. He's being called an Uncle Tom for making this movie. There's been numerous musicals made about Chicago. If you look at the movie with Catherine Zeta-Jones and Queen Latifah, this movie was highly acclaimed. It won the Oscar for Best Picture at the Academy Awards. This movie wasn't condemned the way Spike Lee's movie is condemned. So I don't understand why Spike Lee is getting all this flack. He's just trying to bring awareness to the problem. He's trying to bring awareness in order to stop the violence in Chicago. He should be commended for doing this, not condemned for doing it. And like I said, in order to understand this movie, you have to watch School Daze. A lot of people have different opinions about this topic. Leave a comment, rate, and subscribe.